This is Tawana, and welcome to
Our Lady Space,
where we can talk about it.
What we talking about?
Look, first let's get into these shirts. Holy chick, walking by faith, not by sight. Do you hear me? Listen, you guys, we did not discuss this, okay?
Nope.
I sat down, she sat down, and I was like, you know what? It's just getting to become so overwhelming for me how parallel we are. I know we say that a lot, but you guys just don't understand. Like, oh my God, it's so strong that it literally gives us chills. But anyway, the topic for today is happy wife,
happy life.
You hadn't heard that before. We're going to dive into what that really means.
In the podcast last week, when we were doing our this and that, we kind of touched on it when we were talking about happiness versus success. And that's the thing, when you really break that down, it's not saying wife have her way.
Exactly. Ooh, wait, that's another episode, friend. Wait a minute, don't get to them. Don't get it.
That led us to the topic of happy wife, happy life, and exactly what does that mean? Right. So this week we wanted to unpack that a little bit from our perspective. Keep in mind, we are not psychologists. Our degrees are in whole different topics, but we have lived, we have experienced life, and we have an opinion. So we want to share with you all our perspective of what happy wife, happy life means. And we want you all to let us know what you think. And as we stated last week, it doesn't mean wife have her way, husband deal with it. It goes a little bit deeper. So friend, do you know where that's the whole cliche phrase, happy wife, happy life came from?
They say it kind of came from like a real estate ad or a play. I did a little research and they said it was mentioned there once before. But I feel like a lot of spouses, the male spouse kind of takes offense to that because they do think that it means have your way or the highway. And if you're not happy, then the marriage is not good or the marriage is not happy. But honestly, I feel like both spouses, happy wife and happy husband, make a happy life. So it's not just about the wife, but it's about both of the spouses being happy, I feel.
And that's funny you said that because while I was Googling, as I'm the Google queen, I came across the phrase happy spouse, happy house. That one I like.
I like that.
I was like, okay, I can roll with that.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's equal partnership. At the end of the day, you can't put your happiness in the hands of your spouse. You gotta be happy with yourself before you could even try to be happy with somebody else. That goes back, happy spouse, happy house.
Guess what, friend? We totally forgot who the spokesperson is for Happy Wife, Happy Life. Prince Harry, baby. When I tell you, he don't play by his wife. And the thing that makes me think about is making her happy makes him happy.
That's the secret to it. Because you know the reverse of that, he's making her happy, that's making him happy. While she's making him happy, is making her happy.
Exactly. So it's just about making your spouse happy, like just loving and enjoying each other.
One thing that I notice a lot with Prince Harry and Meghan, he always reaches out for her hand. Yeah. So I don't know if that's her love language and he does it because he knows that, or if that's his way of showing love so she receives it. Because I saw a picture today that was just so touching of his mom, Princess Diana, reaching out for his hand as a young boy. That's the irony of that. That's something that just seems so innocent and just mindless. Means a lot to people who love language is physical touch.
And not only does he reaches out for her, you know what else he do? That we love. We gotta make sure we straight. Baby, he makes that hair right. Baby, when that hair get to blowing, baby, he be patting it down. He be making, baby, you good? He put that ponytail out. We love that. We love that now. That man love her. I'm done.
One thing I noticed, and I think I told you this when I first met your husband, when he told you had lipstick on your teeth, I'm like, that's normally what I do.
Baby, what man really pays that much attention? He don't know how much that touched my heart. Husband, don't let your wives walk around with lipstick on their teeth. If nobody else don't tell them, you tell them, husbands, please.
And I tell you, at that moment, I knew y'all was gonna get married.
And some people like, it's the weirdest things that women get offended by. Like, I feel like I've seen some women get offended by somebody telling them that. No, tell me, thank you. I appreciate that, because I won't be walking around like a fool with lipstick on my teeth.
Because I'm always smiling.
Exactly.
So let me know if my smile is smiling.
But yeah, I love that. I love how, their happiness was more important than a title.
Yes.
Love right there.
That's to know that someone would denounce their inheritance of royalty because that was not fulfilling their life. It was not bringing them happiness and joy.
If they felt that it was a threat to their spouse, that is love. Oh, what a love he has for me. You should have known I had a song. One song this episode.
You had it.
Wait a minute now. I got to get right in.
It is true though, just to have a spouse who knows you well enough to know those cues when you don't have to verbally say, I need this. Or when you do say, they actually reciprocate.
Exactly.
They fulfill that need. And you have to pay attention. You really do. It's just like with your children. When you notice they're acting a little different, okay, wait a minute, let's sit down and talk about this. But if your spouse isn't one to talk, you just got to pay attention and see what is changing. And eventually, you will see what the issue is. They're going to either say it or you're going to notice, okay, wait a minute, this happened. And it totally went over my head. But now I know, okay, we need to fix it.
It's more than just being happy, in a marriage. You got to have good communication. You got to have gratitude towards each other. You got to build trust. You got to know that you're not going to always agree. If that makes sense. Like, you're going to have to agree to disagree. Yes, compromise. And so the biggest one of all, my friends, forgiveness.
And forgetting. Don't forgive and hold on.
Exactly. Let's dissect it a little bit. You can forget. You're not going to forget because you're human. But like you said, don't hold on to it. Like, if you've truly forgiven someone, you have a memory, so it's going to be there. But you're not still punishing them for what they've done. Like, forgiving them means you let it go. And I see a lot of spouses that say that they've forgiven each other, but I can tell in their actions that they haven't, because it's like that person is still being beat over the head. That person every day is still paying for what they've done in the past to, harm or hurt that other spouse. So if you've forgiven them, then you got a clean slate. You know what I mean? That's what forgiveness is to me, a clean slate.
I agree. And I think a lot of times women and men communicate differently. Women tend to be pretty emotional. We speak from I feel, I hurt, whatever.
We speak from
but men are more of the logical, rational communicators. They stick to the facts. If you're going to explain something, they want to know exactly what are the facts. Remove your feelings from it. What truly happened. I think that's why the happy wife, happy life thing come into play, because when it comes to women, when we're unhappy, what we gonna do? We want to sit you down, do a whole PowerPoint presentation. We want to talk about it.
And you know what? I feel like some wives they run with that slogan and use it as a way to be selfish and get upset. Like, if you didn't do what I said, so I'm not happy. And so they hold on to that and be like, have an attitude. And I don't think that's right either. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that a person do for you is not what should make you happy anyway. That's the same when they say, like, if you're in love with someone, are you in love with what they do, or are you in love with the person? Because when the objects are taken away, is that
what
love
you got?
There, or is that love gone?
That's real deep.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people walking around in love with what people do for them and not actually that person.
And that's the thing, because life happens. In marriage, it's a lot of roller coasters, ups and downs. Before me and Roy got married, I had surgery last year. I couldn't walk for a couple of days. He had to wait on me hand and foot. You think he wanted to do that? I mean, he didn't mind. But it's going to be times where roles reverse.
Exactly.
It's not going to always be one person doing more, or somebody gonna always do more, but it's not necessarily that one person is designated to always take a certain role. You have to figure out what makes you happy. Correct. And they say a lot of times, when things are great, when everybody's healthy, okay, it's gonna be good because you haven't encountered an issue. But when that issue come up, then what you do? Do you retreat?
Right.
Exactly. Or do you try to figure things out, reset, refocus, delegate, do what you got to do to make sure that life still goes on, because life is going to go on?
I feel like if a wife stood in the point of saying, I'm not happy, then guess what? Your husband's gonna start not being happy either, because he's gonna start feeling the neglect or feeling like you don't love him because he didn't do one thing for you. So like what you said about Roy, that's when you really truly see how much a person loves you, when they can stay with you during your worst.
Oh yeah.
Down, and they're still there, to see you through, because at the end of the day, marriage is, like you said, ups and downs. It's a whole big compromise in itself. It was supposed to just to be about us living happily ever after, then what is up for better or for worse for?
And that's the part they forget.
Exactly.
They think they got this best friend that you just gonna live with every day and you just be happy-go-lucky.
Exactly.
There's gonna be some days you wake up and you don't even want to talk to that person. And it may be because you're just having a mood. You're in a mood, you're feeling some type of way, you got a lot on your mind. I just don't want to be too friendly right now. Give me a minute to wake up. That don't mean you're not happy. It's just you just having a moment and you just need a little time to kind of figure out what's going on.
Right. And then but figure it out and then wheel it back in. It's not time to retreat. It's time to just learn yourself and come back. And that's another thing I feel like with husband and wife, like you got to learn your person. If your person need their space and know they're gonna come back, just let them have that. See, some people can't do that. I want you to talk now. That used to be me. Like I used to be like, nah, we finna talk now. But it's now person, then how you gonna make? And that's not their fault. So it's like I think it makes it easier once you learn your person niche. Like how do they figure out what's going on with them? Now, it takes too long now, but get them their time. You know what I mean?
I know for me, I have to figure out, is it me? Am I overreacting? Like, give me a minute to really dissect. Okay, did I miss something somewhere? Is it me? Did you do something to make me feel this way? Or did I get in my head and create this scenario that don't exist? When I be quiet, when I silence and shut down, give me a minute. And I'll come back to you and let you know what's going on. I'm a big communicator. I'm going to tell you what's wrong. Exactly. And that's the thing, like you said, you have to know your spouse, because if your spouse doesn't communicate verbally like you do, you have to hone in on those nonverbal cues. Let you know, okay, wait a minute. He came in, okay, we kissed, but he went in the garage and he's listening to music. Okay, he had a long day. He just need a minute. I think as wives, I know for me, when he get home, I be wanting to blah, 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 blah. Exactly. I be want to talk to him about everything.
Exactly.
And I'm like, he need a minute to unpack his day and really get his thoughts together and get prepared for the evening shift.
Yes, because I'm like that meme. You love me? You love me? You love me? It's like Marilyn, like sometimes it can be kind of like overwhelming for a person that's just not used to all of that. So that's why you have to just know your person.
And I agree. The 5 love languages.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say. That's how you truly learn your person. That's the best test that they ever could have gave for couples. And I know men are reluctant to take it. This is what I feel. We taking it all day and we sending them the scores and we like, come on and take it. And then the next week, you took your test yet?
Right.
Then the next week, you took your test yet? But then they finally take it, and then you guys can actually sit down and just know what your spouse's love language is. It's important. You guys took it. We took it.
We took it, and it was like an eye opener for me.
Yes.
We expect people to want love the way we want it, or want to receive the love the way we like to give it.
Exactly, and that is not it.
Like for instance, what's your primary love language?
So my primary love language was acts of service. That was my top one. Because I feel like, I like gifts. I like quality time. I like physical touch. But if I'm tired and I've been working all day and you come home and say, babe, I got this. I'm going to clean up the house. I'm going to cook. You love me? You love me? But my husband, on the other hand, was quality time, 40%. Wow. His quality time, I love it, is because we can wake up and don't move. Sit in the bed all day and watch Netflix, Hulu, get up, go to the bathroom, get something to eat, get back in the bed until it's time to get, in the tub and go to sleep. And he loves that. Like, and now I love it. You know what I mean? Like, just being up under him and us just watching and discussing. Because I used to be like, I still like to go. But I supposed to thought that quality time means we got to go out to eat.
No.
We got to do this. Which he loves. He does that also. But it's also just about that real time, just sitting there and then even just having a conversation. How each other's day went, seeing if we had any struggles, if we got any worries, what's going on, let's talk about it. Just having a conversation, just sitting there playing a game, eating at home, then going back and watching TV again. Like, just he loved that. You know what I mean? And it has made me love that. But I guess you gotta be a person. That's why I was like, your person needs to bring out better qualities in you.
Do you know what his lowest one was?
Yeah, his lowest one was acts of service. See, he don't care because that's the type of man, he does it all. I be like, baby, I can help you. He want to do it. He don't need no help. So, of course, that would have been low for him. My lowest one was gifts and service and quality time. No, I'm sorry. Receiving gifts was his lowest, 7%. Then acts of service, 10%. So they were neck and neck.
And that's what's so funny to me because my number one is words of affirmation. Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm beautiful.
Yep.
Tell me how much I mean to you. You ain't gotta buy nothing. Just write me a note and tell me some sweet nothings. I'm here for it.
And touch me. I like physical touch was right behind my words. Like,
that's my number two. Physical touch is my number two. But it's funny because, like your husband, mine's number one is quality time. Mm-hmm. And I think it's similar to the aspect of, it doesn't necessarily mean us engrossed in each other, just being in each other's presence and enjoying those moments. One thing that he's really taught me since I've known him was being present in the moment. Because I used to be real big about taking pictures, you know, being on social media while we're on vacation or, you know, doing all this extra stuff. Yep. But now when we're on vacation, I rarely take a picture. Yep. I'm so engrossed in the moment and just enjoying it for what it is, making those true memories that's going to stay here versus having these pictures to look back at later. I think that's what his quality time is, just being present and doing things that creates those memories, which is important.
My husband is like that too. Like, he can't stand, like, I am a social media bug, you know, he can't stand it. But I will get my pictures in, but I don't post them. Like, I'll post something and it'll be about 2 or 3 weeks later. You'll be like, no, that was 2 weeks ago. Like, so it's like, I'll get a snap in here and there, but I'm not, you know, some people is posting they taking a picture and they got a whole post right. And I'm like, wait, how did you have time to post that?
Because you're missing the moment.
Exactly.
You're posting.
I totally get that.
Again, like you said, once you know your partner, you know their love language, you know how they communicate, you know how they process things, that helps maintain that happiness in the home, which is what's essential. You know, at the end of the day, you don't want either partner to be upset or, you know, feeling some type of way about anything. But we have to be cognizant of the way we feel and how we project those feelings onto our mate. Because we may, like we said, happiness is a choice. We may choose to wake up and be in a good mood that day, but not knowing your spouse may have had something happen at work, or, you know, he may have caught a Charlie horse overnight. Now, those things hurt. Get a Charlie horse to your leg. So whatever he had one, he woke up that morning and he's trying to, you know, he's hurting. But you're like, okay, why are you not happy today? So understand how they process things, how they respond to things, how they communicate. Just get to know your spouse. Because I tell people all the time, you have to define your marriage. Exactly. You have to define your happiness. Communicate that with your spouse. Make sure you're on one accord. And I think in doing so, goes back to what we said, happy spouse, happy house.
Well, a lot of people end up causing hectic relationships based on social media, which is fake. You'll look at social media and somebody took their spouse somewhere and did all this extra stuff for them, but it's the camera's off cussing them out. Like, you don't really know what's going on in people's life. So
you don't
let what you see on social media dictate how your relationship is going to go. It could be horrible. Like, you seen the ones where they take all these pictures of like Jordans and then they sleeping on the floor.
Make it make sense.
Exactly. Come on now.
Priorities. And I think that goes back to it at the end of the day. In a relationship, in a marriage, and whatever y'all got going on, you want mutual respect. Both men and women want to feel seen and heard. We want to feel loved, protected. You know, treat people the way you want to be treated. It all goes back to the golden rule.
Men, I feel like they will retreat. Like, what you don't want is for your spouse to go back into a shell because they feel like they can't talk to you, or they got to walk on eggshells because they don't know how you're going to react. So that's something else you have to, like, if your spouse was one way you know, very talkative and let you know what's going on, and then you just kind of notice a shift, like a change. You gotta pay attention to that kind of stuff.
That makes perfect sense, because I had to, I don't even think I even told you this, but I had to check myself because I wasn't listening. I'm admitting this to everybody. Sometimes when they're talking about stuff you're truly not that interested in, you kind of get caught up in your phone. You may start, surfing the web, social media, whatever, and they're trying to explain to you something that they're interested in.
Exactly.
So I had to check myself and be like, okay, go listen.
At least you did check yourself. And then, it's like listening to respond instead of listening to actually hear what the person is saying. Like, I feel like if we just actually have a conversation and actually listen to the person, we can probably get a long way. But if you did this, well, because you did that, a lot of tit for tat too. That's a lot of stuff.
Ping pong.
Yeah, well, I did this, you did that. I don't do that. No, I think we need to cut all that out for some effective communication to take place.
I agree. And I know it took a while for my husband to realize that I'm an active listener. Okay. So when you're talking to me, I'm like, okay. Oh, yeah. And then what? Because that's how I'm listening. I'm an active listener. Right. But if I'm just sitting there and I'm like, so he had to learn that in me head nodding and saying things is me actually listening and not being patronizing.
So my husband, he had to literally look in your face and talk to you like this for him to feel like you're listening to him. Me, I'm multitasking. Like, I can be I can send a text, I can shoot an email and answer your question. Like, I can still hear you. I can still listen to you. Right. But he's like, look at me. Look in my eyes. You ain't listening to me. And I appreciate that about him, because even though I can hear him and I can respond appropriately, it's a level of respect.
I think that goes back to his love language of quality time. He wants you to be present while you're having that moment.
Can't be mad at that. Can't be mad. So,
did you see any more quotes on Happy Wife, Happy Life? Or have you had any feedback? Or have you ever had anyone explain to you what they thought it was? Or what was your thoughts about it before you start really diving into it?
I feel like it was about to get me in trouble personally. Everybody was saying it. I was screaming it. Happy wife, happy life. And I just kind of felt like it was rubbing my spouse the wrong way. He felt like, if you're not happy, then our marriage not happy. Like, I don't think he really dissected what it meant. I think just the statement in itself could be offensive, because, some husbands may feel like that can sway him,
It's one-sided.
Yeah, like happy wife, happy life. And, it's just not fair. So I had to actually just want a happy marriage. And once I start, thinking like that, I didn't take, you can almost get offended. It can almost make you, like you said, be selfish. I don't do what I want, or get offended. Or why you not doing it? You're supposed to make me happy. If I ain't happy, then our life ain't happy. That's not so.
You have to figure out what truly makes you happy. Like for me, I enjoy cooking. That's before this pandemic. I would cooking at least 4 days a week. You was gonna get a home cooked meal. Those other 3 days was either leftovers or we may order out. Something I enjoy doing is cooking, preparing my meals. I don't think my husband fixed his plate but maybe 3 times since we've been together.
One husband fixed his plate. Do you know one? Point him out. Point him out. Point him out.
You will be surprised. All he gotta do is sit down and eat. But that's something that's fulfilling to me. It doesn't mean that my happiness means he has to give up something. I'm happy and I know some people gonna take this the wrong way, but I said what I'm about to say. I feel happiness serving my spouse in that way. It fulfills me.
I was about to say, but right before you said that, and you got to be comfortable in what makes you happy. Like, you can't care what people think. If you know this works for your household, you keep going with it. If you like serving your husband, baby, if you want to put on, come to America.
Bark like a dog.
That's your business. Like, it's what makes you happy. If y'all both happy with that and roll with that until one of you guys say, I'm tired of doing this, or if the spouse does not appreciate,
there you go.
That's when you dive into something different. It's the appreciation.
I tell you this, I fix lunches every day, but if you make me mad, that sandwich gonna look a little different.
That's it. It ain't gonna be fixed with love.
Nope. I love you, but I'm mad at you right now. So your cheese may be a little torn. You may have 2 pieces of meat instead of 4 or 5. But because I love you, I'm gonna make your sandwich because I want you to eat. Because by the time we eat lunch, we've been made up anyway. But in that moment,
that's making me dive into something else. So check this out. About the part where we don't go to bed upset. I love that, like, because we mad, but we still husband and wife. And guess what? We're gonna get over it. So today, if we are upset, if we sleep like this, we in the same bed. But you better not walk out that door and don't tell me bye. You better not walk out.
And you better not kiss me.
And not kiss me.
So that's my thing.
Exactly, because guess what? You don't know what can happen when you leave.
And I don't want our last encounter to be us upset with each other.
Exactly.
However you feel, okay, baby, I love you. Mwah. I'll be right back.
I don't care.
Just smash your lip.
You guys, let us know what you feel about happy wife, happy life. Also, let us know if you spot the ladybug. Whoever spots the ladybug, comment below and we'll shout you out on our next episode. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know. Comment below. Make sure you like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe.
We could only send out like some postcards when you subscribe to make you honor a real member of Our Lady Space. That notification button is your postcard. When you get that notification that we have posted something, that lets you know you're here. You're here with us on Our Lady Space.
Marilyn and Tawana on Our Lady Space. So this holy chick is about to walk it out by faith in Our Lady Space. And we have enjoyed you in Our Lady Space today where we can talk about it.
Bye!